Hey there, did I catch your eye with the title? Great. Now I need you to stay here with me. Um, Especially if you're system host or gatekeeper or control front. Just give me a few minutes of your time, please. Thank you. I can probably guess why you clicked this. You have headmates that you've identified as persecutors, and you're trying to, handle that, get back to life as usual, or create a life as usual. But first, you need to know what's wrong with how I phrased the title of this video. I'll give you a second. Did you get it? It's okay if you didn't. The problem with the title of this video is that I said how to deal with persecutors. I did that on purpose. Obviously I did. I titled the video. Kind of because I wanted to reach systems who are having a lot of trouble and don't understand why their solutions don't work. And the reason that title's wrong, I'll get into a bit more later, but the very basics of it is, you deal with a problem, and there is no person who is a problem. Your headmates are never a problem. There are problems that may arise from having them. They may cause problems. I definitely cause problems. But a person is not a problem to be solved. So, here's my seminar. And I promise this is for you. If you click this video, even if your persecutors are violent or irredeemable in your eyes, I need you to stay here, and I need you to know I'm not attacking you and I'm not mad at you, but there's a lot you need to understand for your system to be healthy now. And if you're struggling, you could probably use this insight because it's a little bit hard to come by. So, first things first, if they don't call themselves a persecutor, stop calling them that right now. Throw the word malicitor out from your vocabulary. Just toss them. While you're at it, toss out the terms redeeming and reforming. You don't need those words, and they're a great way to make your relationship with this headmate terrible or worse for both of you. So you did it? It's okay if you haven't fully already, but if you've tried, good. Now we can start. I know me saying to drop all those words is kind of confusing, and it might feel like I'm just trying to make it impossible for you to talk about the fact that you're struggling. And it does make it a bit harder for you, yeah. But I'm not saying to do that for no reason. I'm not doing it out of spite. The problem is those terms are, at best, really othering. Even if you don't mean it badly, it very much carries the implication that this person, this headmate, is bad and needs to be fixed or go away for you to be happy. And that might even be how you feel, which is normal, but that's not how you fix the problem you're having. And no, I don't claim to know exactly your specific situation, but I think what you're dealing with now is maybe a little less unique than you think it is. Everyone thinks their persecutor issues are original, and while the specifics may be, it very often comes down to this. See, you can't treat a persecutor like an outer world person who's being mean to you. It's kind of hard to get, especially because so many systems have trauma histories and specifically histories of experiencing abuse, that in system dynamics between people in your body are very much different than outer world, like with people outside your body dynamics. And when there's abuse or just kind of fighting happening within a system, it works differently from when it's not within a system. You need to remember that almost definitely, especially if you're host or control who fronts, that you have power over them, they can't just walk away and get their own body, however much they might like to. Anything that happens to your body, if you get sick, if you get hurt, whatever, it happens to their body. Anything that has happened to your body has happened to their body. Every little trauma you've gone through, they've gone through too. They're also living a life that doesn't fully belong to only them anymore too. You're both in the same place, in the same body at the same time, and they might be hurting you. They might be being a bit of a dick. That isn't okay. But unlike in like the outer world, you can't just cut them off. You can't just say fuck you and go away. You can't decide they're a bad person and leave it there, because they're stuck with you. And they probably don't want to be having this fight either, and I understand that hearing me say that, you might go, well, yeah, they want to just win the fight. And maybe. That might be true. I'm not saying it never is. But I would question that impulse. You won't ever fix this if you don't try to work together with them, if you don't put yourself out there a little bit, and try to understand them beyond your first impressions, beyond whatever thoughts bleed over into your thoughts, beyond your interactions with them. You need to ask them questions, and if they don't want to answer those questions, you have to acknowledge that it is their right to not give you an answer sometimes, just like you don't always have to give them an answer. Treat them like a person who is equal to you, and not like they're just your problem. I know you're probably scared, but if you're scared, they probably are too. This is a content warning. Please skip to the timestamp on the screen right now if the subject of headmate death, in-system abuse, and similar is very triggering to you. And this is the part where I might get a little mad at you, because I'm dead serious. If you're thinking about wanting them to die, fantasizing about killing them, trying to lock them away, telling them to leave, or talking about wanting them dead or gone, cut it out right fucking now. You do not get to pretend to be the good one. You do not get to call them a problem. You do not get to be the person struggling with a mean persecutor if you're constantly being that fucking cruel to someone who is stuck in your body with you all the time and whose life depends on your life. If this is you, you're probably the problem here, and you need to work that shit out. You have no right to expect anyone to play nice with you if you want them fucking dead. I know that therapy is often not an option. I know that good therapists are often not an option, but you need to find a way to work it out. And in the meantime, you need to let them be. And you need to let them not forgive you for that. Someday they might never. That's up to them. But I fully mean it. Even if you're a system where headmates can't die, imagining violence against your headmates because of how much you dislike them is still extremely cruel and inappropriate, even if it can't cause them physical harm. It's not more okay because you're the host. It's not more okay because they're mean to you, or because they're messing with your relationships in the outer world. Nothing warrants telling someone you want them to die when they're that vulnerable to you. And yeah, if that's not you, you might not like how mad I just got. And you might feel a bit like I'm accusing you of something here. You probably never heard of that happening even. But I promise you, that's not a rare problem. It's not. And again, I fully understand where that comes from. It doesn't make it okay. Ultimately, the conclusion here is you need to not treat your persecutors like shit if you want them not to treat you like shit. You don't get to do, well, he punched me, so I'm punching him back. I mean, you sure can, but not if you ever want this to work out. Not if you ever want them to like you. And you need to understand that they don't have to like you either. They don't have to want to be around you. And yeah, I know that this seems a little wishy-washy if you have a violent persecutor or a persecutor who frequently threatens self-injury or suicide or homicide, or who attempts any of those things. This might seem a bit like, okay, well, what the fuck does that have to do with me? And I know where you're coming from, but I still want you to think about what I said here. I want you to think about how much you do or don't understand about them. I want you to think about how easy it is for them to contact people outside your body, if they have their own support system at all, if there's anyone they feel safe talking to. Because if they don't, that might be part of it. And yeah, you might have a headmate who is being abusive. And again, that is not okay. It is not your job to fix them, but it is your job to not try to become an abuser to them. Because this isn't like when someone in another body is abusive. Because someone in another body gets to leave. An abuser in another body has somewhere else to go, someone else to talk to. Whether they deserve that is its own debate, but you're stuck with them and they're stuck with you. So you need to work it out. I hope you understand. And I hope this helps you. I really do. I don't want you to be living like this. I don't want it for any of the people in your system. And I don't think how your persecutors treat you, if the way they treat you is very hurtful, is necessarily okay, or that they aren't to blame for their part in things. But the thing is, you need to understand that almost always you have a part in this too. And that is your job to acknowledge. And it is both of your job to try to work together. It sucks to be the only one pulling the weight for a while. But being petty has never fixed a fight. So, good luck. I hope this helps. If you're a persecutor or persecutor adjacent seeing this, hi. Feel free to say something down in the comments, I guess. I guess you can subscribe too. That's a thing you can do. Yeah, like, subscribe if you're a persecutor, comment and bitch about your host. If you're a host, comment and try to compliment your persecutor. Let's balance this out. If I do find anyone commenting about how evil persecutors are, I will be biting you. So keep that in mind. Yeah, nice seeing you. Bye.